Right, guys. Okay, so we're in Leeds, we're in Horsforth. That's somebody going out on their driving test. So he's looking around the car, he's making sure the car's safe and roadworthy. He's then going to sit in the car, like you can see there. He's then going to go through show me, tell me questions. So there's two questions that they'll ask you. One could be, how would you turn on the radio mister? The second one could be done on the go, or it could be done in the car, like cleaning the front windscreen. And then what they do, they get ready to go. So we're looking at two cars today. We're looking at the black car at the end, and we're looking at this silver car here. And this lovely little Cupra that's parked behind them. So this car's moved off. He's moved off safe. Now the only thing you have to worry about at this driving test centre is traffic. Now today it looks rather quiet. But what happens, traffic bottlenecks. Traffic bottlenecks from up the road coming down. So it's usually when somebody pushes a crossing outside Horsforth train station. Once they press the button, a couple of cars accumulate and then they start coming down the road. For those that understand the road, brilliant. For those that don't, go up there, have a look at Horsforth train station, and if you're an experienced driver, the penny should drop. So you'll see cars back up usually where that red learner car is there. The reason for that is usually there's about 4 or 5 learner cars parked here, and they're usually parked where this Woodside Micro Club is. There's cars parked there, and then let's say where that chip shop is, where that white shop is there, usually what you find is people coming, especially buses or vans, they'll wait there because they can't get through, and it bottlenecks traffic over here. So today, it's a rather quiet day. So guys, if you've got any questions, please ask. Yes, it's Horsforth. Horsforth, to be honest, Hare Hills this morning was very quiet. We were driving around Hare Hills this morning, and very, very early morning, it was quite busy. And then it died down after about 9 o'clock. It just went quiet. Very surprising, but today's the same today in Horsforth. I mean, there's literally no cars here. And usually, you can't move 2 inches without stopping and starting. Yeah, it looks rather quiet. If anyone's got any questions, ask them. Now, in terms of driving test, a couple of other points I want to kind of throw at you. Usually we're parked here on your driving test. So usually you'll find us parked here, or just in front of the Cupra, or where that red tree is there. If you're over here, you would be expected to take where that white shop is there, that turn on the right. Usually people get that wrong because what they do when they overtake a vehicle, they don't come back to their side of the road. And this is a learner car going out on his driving test, I think, or just pulling up near the driving test. We'll walk away because we don't want to listen to what they've got to say. Assalamu alaikum, Junaid. Yes, I think students haven't officially come back yet. And because students haven't really come back, it's like that. But yeah, it's very, very quiet here today. Round day was the same. Now, the only thing you have to worry about, shockingly, when it's quiet, it's sometimes harder to pass a driving test. The reason for that is people are just travelling generally faster. So if the speed limit is 30 and the roads are empty, then people are trying to do Mach 2. They're going around 40, and it's not something that you expect. Taxi drivers, there was one this morning, an Uber driver from Bradford. What was he driving? A Prius. And I was doing 40 on a 40 road, and he overtook me, and I could barely make out his registration number. So, they drive a lot faster than you expect. And that's the only problem. What you're taught is to travel at 30, no faster, etc. And then when you've got somebody coming up the road at 60 miles an hour, you don't expect to see him, and he's there. Good morning, Freya. How are you today? I'm enjoying the weather. I'm in my shorts. It's a cracking day today in Horsforth. And my pupil better pass their test or I'm going to kick their ass. Anyway, so we've discussed that right turn down there. And you'll see where that black car stopped for that learner car. That's a little close. You want to remain at least 2 cars behind to overtake the vehicle, like to go around the vehicle. So it's important in Horsforth that you understand it's more meet and greet. It's more like the whole back position. It's more about being aware of dual carriageways and high-speed roundabouts. Whereas in Hare Hills, it's more crossroads, right turns, and watching out you don't get caught on a red light turning right, that set of traffic lights. So they're the main sort of differences in both test centres. Other than that, today I don't think I've ever seen this place so quiet. It's actually eerie. You can hear the wind. Okay, guys, if you can share my live feed, please. If you can like and share, one would appreciate that. And what you find is most instructors will pull you up on the left over here. What you'll also find is you can pull up outside where it says Londis supermarket, mini market, whatever. The curb is a high-rise curb, but just remember that you're going to kind of interfere with people reversing off the driveway, although legally it's not a drop curb, so you can park there. But when you're over here, you'll see that car going down, that learner car. That learner car was too close to the black car. Essentially, when you're going around a parked vehicle, you need to be at least 2 spaces back to give you enough opportunity and time to steer around the vehicle. And then what you've got, when you're driving your car here, you'll find these guys. Now, there's a lot of deliveries here because Horsforth is a very commercial area. There's a lot of big businesses here, especially timber yards, concrete places, and it's something you need to be aware of. Now, if you don't understand the holdback position and you haven't done it with your parents or whoever you're learning with, your driving instructor, you will not pass your driving test in Horsforth. You need to understand how far back you need to stop behind a car. Very important that you understand. Sorry, I was looking at the aeroplane. Yeah, not my car, Amber's new Ferrari. I bet she lost sleep over that. But no, generally speaking, the reason why you get too close to the curb is because A, your turning angle is too sharp, or B, you're too close to the curb generally. It's one of them things. But look, you're a new driver, Freya. Look, you've just started with us. And to be fair, you need an opportunity to not just make the mistake, but also to correct it. But you're not going to correct a mistake till you make the mistake. Then you're not going to fix the mistake until you understand the mistake. And once you understand the mistake, nobody makes the same mistake twice. And to be honest, Freya, honestly, I've gone over curbs even now. I've passed my test 30 odd years ago. We still do it. We're human beings. We all make mistakes. I hope that clarifies that. So yeah, I might think the sun shines at my ass. It doesn't. I'm not that good a driver. I'm a qualified driver. I'm an experienced driver, but I'm not all that. And this is what I mean about cars overtaking lorries. So if there's a car parked here and there's a van coming down the road, that lorry would have to stop. So then you need to understand not just the holdback position where you need to stop. You then need to understand what a cluster of cars mean. Sorry, I'm gobbing all over the screen. So you need to understand what a cluster of cars is. So what we're doing now, we're looking at this van coming up the road. Now he's on his own, so he's not a cluster. So we're looking opposite now, and we're looking at this white van here. Now he's not a cluster. Now we've just seen that scrap van turn right. He's not a cluster. I can't even demonstrate on this road today, it's so quiet. But what that means is when there's 2 or 3 cars bunched together, a bit like grapes. So when there's a couple of cars together, they're a cluster. And that's something that you need to understand on your driving test. If you're not a part of the cluster and the vehicle the road that you're going down and there's a vehicle that stopped, he's stopped for that cluster of cars and not for you. And that's like a test failed. You need to understand why. And that's because he wasn't waiting for you. So over here, we can see 3 cars. They're coming up the road. Now, these 3 are a cluster of cars, but the car behind is not a part of that cluster. So let's say for the sake of argument, a car stops over here. He would let these 3 cars go, and then the blue car would have to wait. So the blue car is doing a golf special. So now he's made himself a part of that cluster. But he wasn't a part of that cluster. Let's take this car, for example. He's not a part of that cluster, so he would have to wait for the 3 cars that were waiting. And that's the difference between a cluster of cars and a single car. And they just say to you, that you're getting, you should have given way because you were not a part of that cluster of cars. And it's a very easy test fail. It's something that's very normally spoken of. And it's important that you understand the difference between cluster and no cluster. Okay, does anyone else have any questions? and it's quiet, and nobody's asking any questions. So I think what I may do is turn this live feed off. And you see how that car's waiting? Well, that black coloured car should have waited to let the silver car go through. The silver car was waiting for the black car, not for the last black car. And that's the difference between understanding a cluster and not understanding a cluster, going for a driving test and passing, and going for a driving test and failing. So there's hundreds and hundreds of things you can fail a driving test on. Every single mistake can, at some point, become a point where it becomes dangerous and it becomes serious and it becomes a driver fault, hence a test fail. Right, guys, if nobody's got any questions, I'm going to turn this live feed off. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I will probably speak to you guys at some point today while I've got a pupil in the car. Thank you very much for watching. Allah Hafiz.